Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 570.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about how to make extra money. And I know that's something that everyone could use a little bit of extra money here and there. But I'm talking about the kind of extra money that's like one of those multiple streams of income or one of those ways you can earn money for the rest of your life. I wanted to interview someone who could give you information on how to get started with basically no budget, no talent, no idea necessarily proven, but a way that you can test your idea, start getting it out there. And she even goes through how to make sales. I'm talking about my interview with Wendy Porter, who's an award-winning business and mindset mastery coach. She has 15 years of experience building and operating multi-million-dollar businesses in corporate America before she followed her passion and created her online company, Crowned for Success. Crowned for Success is the largest women's empowerment network for soulful CEOs on social media. She's got a following of more than 1 million people. Crowned for Success is also a coaching business that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in both business and mindset mastery, and has proudly served over 3,500 clients in 29 different countries. They are a heart-centered business that gives back 10% of their proceeds to charitable organizations that specialize in women's equality, women, girls, and education, and domestic violence awareness. I really think what Wendy has here is some great information. Plan to take some notes and follow her advice because it's free, it's right on target, and it's something that's going to help you get started making extra income right away. So here we go. I'm so glad to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk to the audience about the possibilities of wealth building with the internet, with being an entrepreneur, because I really feel like entrepreneurship is that next level of where we're going and creating wealth for people. And just, I don't think people really see the potential that's out there. So I wanted to first talk with you about the big picture and building businesses online and what you see in terms of trends and the abundance that that creates for people.
Absolutely. There's tons and tons of money to be made online. I always teach my clients, that if you're not, like, even if you have a brick and mortar, that's okay. Or even if you're doing business not online, if you don't have a presence online, you're definitely leaving a lot of money on the table. So the potential is huge. In fact, it's just the wave of the future. It's kind of the direction that business is moving. It's the reason why, places like Amazon are putting, brick and mortars out of business like Toys R Us. So it's absolutely the wave of the future for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like, they can market globally. The costs to market are substantially less because you have email. You don't have to pay postage and printing, right? But I think the main thing I think a lot of people struggle with is if they don't have a brick and mortar business, and let's say they're a professional, how do they identify what a possible side hustle could be for them?
I think you got to start really kind of with what you're passionate about doing. There's so much that can be done online. So I always kind of recommend that you start with what you're passionate about. Start there first and foremost and figuring what that is for you. I mean, it's different for every single person. There's people selling potato guns online. I mean, goodness sakes, Yeah,
I've talked about that. Andy made $250,000 teaching how to do it, by the way.
Exactly. So, I always use that as, an example. There is so much money to be made online. You can really do anything. But I would say start with what you're passionate about, and then you want to do some market research and make sure that it's going to be a viable business idea. And, study your market, study to see who else is doing it, who's doing it really well, who's doing it not so well, what could you do different, what would make you stand out. So that's kind of my first advice on how to kind of get something moving online.
And competition is actually a good thing because it shows that there's proof of concept for a viable business, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Competition is not a bad thing. And I always say, collaboration over competition. I collaborate. And that's the thing about online business is it really is, even though it's a huge opportunity, it's a small world. And so once you know who your competitors are, collaborate with them and get in touch with them, get to know them, see what they're doing. So I always say it's collaboration over competition. It's a huge part of my success is being able to, collaborate with other, coaching businesses that do what I do.
Mm-hmm. And you've grown a lot through social media. That's one of the places I should say that you collaborate.
Yeah, social media has been like a godsend to me. It's just been an amazing journey. And even if you have like a practice and you don't have a business, even if you are a professional and you don't have a business yet, like you want to absolutely be marketing yourself on social media. You can gain clients that way. If you're in any type of sales, you should be definitely on social media.
Yeah, I agree. Any kind of services that you're already offering can only be enhanced by people finding you on social media.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, and then if it isn't for their business, if it is a passion on the side, I mean, there's so many up and coming things happening now, like Shopify, where people are actually starting stores and selling physical items that are sourced in China. I mean, it's crazy what's happening, but kind of a little mini replica of Amazon, if you will. And not to mention you could have your own website and have people come to it as well. But there's so much imagination, creativity, and also online courses, consulting, coaching, just huge. It's just a huge industry.
You don't even have to own your own business per se. You can even do affiliate work for other people. So if other people who sell products and services have an affiliate program, you can sell those products and services for them, and they'll often pay you anywhere between 20% and all the way up to 50% to sell their product and services online. So you don't even have to own your own business anymore. It doesn't have to be something that you own. It can absolutely be something that somebody else has and that you're just kind of leveraging what they have. And you're out there selling it, making an extra income. And, you have that little side hustle on the side, bringing in extra income. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely.
And one of the things I think people don't talk about enough is the whole automated way that online business is done because of being able to schedule emails to go out when you want them to go out or schedule podcasts to be uploaded when you want them to air. It is crazy how you can do your work on the weekend and then it's working for you. You set up your emails to go out during the week or your podcast to go out and it's working as if you're in the store, but you're not there. So it can be all automated.
Absolutely. There's been many times where I've been sipping Mai Tais on the beach and still making money.
Yeah.
As cliche as this sounds, it's so true because once you have an online business, you can completely automate almost everything. And so you can constantly be bringing in income, even if you're not physically doing the work anymore. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Well, Wendy, tell us more about Crown for Success and how you really got started with that.
Yeah, so about 6 years ago, I went through cancer, and I was really just kind of going through a soul-searching phase in my life, just trying to figure out what is the purpose, behind life. There has to be more to it than this. I was, building, running, and operating multi-million-dollar businesses in corporate America for 15 years, and while it was financially rewarding, it wasn't the most emotionally rewarding for me. And it was super stressful. I was stressed out all the time. I remember I'd have panic attacks and, have to pull over off the freeway because I thought I was having a heart attack one time. And it was highly stressful, overseeing 450 people at one time. And really it just during that time in my life, I felt like I was being called for something more and I just wanted more in my life. And so I really set out to, on this journey to figure out what that more was for me, and stumbled across somebody by the name of Marie Forleo, who teaches really all about online business. She has an entire school that is all about, how to build an online business. And I took that course while I was home recuperating from 2 different surgeries. And I decided that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a freedom-based business. I have 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a husband who, I wanted to spend more time with. My kids were, littler at the time. And I thought, you know what, I hardly see them. I would literally get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, be out of the house by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and not be home until 8 or 9 o'clock at night just to say goodnight to them. And that was it. So, so I missed out on so many moments and so many, dance recitals and, just all kinds of things that I missed out on. And I felt like, I wanted to be, more active in their lives. I wanted to be home when they got home. And I started researching about online businesses and found that, you could do it from home. You could do it from anywhere. And so I wanted that freedom. I wanted the location freedom, honestly, more than I wanted the money. I mean, that to me was more important. And so I set out on a venture to really figure out, how to build this online business. I became certified as a business coach and a life coach at the time, and started using social media to really get my voice out there. And our company just really exploded. Within 8 months, I was making more in my side hustle than what I was making in my 6-figure, corporate America job. And I was able to retire that and not look back. And now here we are, 3.5 years later. And it's just been an amazing journey. Really, it has. It's been an incredible journey. We are now the largest women's empowerment network on social media, with over 1 million people following us on social media. We're also a coaching business that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in both business and mindset mastery.
Wow, that is incredible. So it's interesting because I felt the same way with the location. Just I wanted to work from my home. I didn't want to travel anymore. I didn't want to be on planes and be on the road all week. And I'd done that for years, and it was just, I was done. I was just ready to stay at home. And that's one of the things I love about having an online business, is working from home.
Absolutely. It's the best. You can work from anywhere. I mean, I'm getting ready to go to Spain for 2 weeks, and I'll be working from there. And then I'm going to Maui at the end of July. I'll be working from there. I mean, literally, you can really work from anywhere. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you've been able to market globally, too. You have people working with you in 29 different countries.
Absolutely, yeah. We have, I've worked with over 3,500, women clients in 29 different countries. So it's been pretty incredible. And that's what social media does. It has a reach, worldwide. And so when you learn to leverage social media, you can really, the sky's the limit. You can reach people anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, and I think that it's so beautiful that the internet makes the world so small, because people all over the world can find you and can listen to a podcast or can find your website and work with you and come into your classes and move up the organization. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yes, it is. I love it. Yes, absolutely right.
So one of the things you do is you teach people how to use social media. Is that right?
Yeah, I teach people how to really leverage social media, how to get visible on social media, how to sell on social media, and how to really use social media to increase their sales. And, I even teach brick and mortar businesses how to use social media to leverage their sales and increase the return on their investment, because it's free. It doesn't cost you any money to use social media, which is pretty cool.
So what are some things that a brick and mortar or a professional who has a business might be able to implement right away to really beef up their presence online if they haven't done that already?
Absolutely. I would say you want to definitely be on the 2 hottest platforms that are out there right now, which is Facebook and Instagram. So you absolutely want to have a presence on both of those. They're, the largest social media platforms out there and the hottest ones too. So You want to open up a Facebook page. It's kind of like, compare having a Facebook page as kind of like your business card. You absolutely want to have a Facebook page, and it's searchable on Google, so you definitely want to have that. People can rate your services on there, which is really nice. So people can leave you testimonials there and rate your services, and obviously you want to have 4 or 5 stars on there, but get yourself a business page on Facebook, and then also get yourself a business page on Instagram as well. So those are the 2 main platforms that I use. I tend to use Instagram a little bit more, but I would say both of those would be the place to start on social media.
And would you say that the demographics are a little bit different between Facebook and Instagram?
Yes, they are a little bit different. Instagram is still up and coming, but I would say don't sleep on Instagram because it's got 1 billion users right now, and it actually has more engagement than what Facebook does. So Instagram has 58 times more engagement than Facebook does right now, and engagement equals sales. I mean, it really does. You have to build that. I call it the KLT factor, the know, love, trust factor. You've got to be able to build that with your potential clients. And Instagram, has that engagement piece that Facebook doesn't have. They're just stronger with engagement. So you don't want, I think Facebook's got probably more baby boomers than what Instagram has. Instagram's got a lot more millennials than baby boomers, but there are people on both ends of the spectrum. So, just because Instagram happens to be a little bit more millennials right now, it's moving in the direction of having more Gen Xers and having more baby boomers on there as well. So definitely you still want to be on Instagram, even if your demographics are more towards the baby boomers, which would be Facebook. So yeah, get yourself a Facebook page, get yourself an Instagram business page, be on both of them, be active on both of those, post on Instagram at least once or twice a day. So that people know that you're a legitimate business, so people see that, you're not going anywhere, because that is one of the things that people want to take note of, is that you're still going to be there. You don't want to go like 3 weeks without posting anything at all. You want to be an active poster over there on Instagram and on Facebook and let people know that you're there for the long haul. You're there to stay. And plus it helps to increase your engagement over on both of those social media outlets. So you always want to have as much engagement as possible on both platforms. But Instagram does happen to have a lot more engagement, which means that more people are searching Instagram to do potential business. In fact, 75% of people follow a business over on Instagram, and about 82% of them decide whether or not they're going to buy from a business by looking at their Instagram page. So be on Instagram.
Yeah,
be on both.
That's really mind-blowing that people will check out their Instagram page before buying. I mean, it's the same thing, though, with even employers are checking out people's Facebook pages and Instagram pages right before they hire people. And
yes.
I know if I haven't met someone yet, I'll go check out their social media pages just to see what are they talking about, what are they teaching, what's their perspective on something. You kind of can get to know them without meeting them yet and feel like, okay, I have a common area with this person over here. We can go in this direction for our conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah, I used to do it when I was in when I hired and when I had 450 people reporting to me in corporate America, I used to check out their Facebook page or their Instagram page to see what they were about before our interview. So absolutely.
So do you think this is something that people can handle on their own, or do they need to hire someone to handle their social media?
It depends on how busy you are and how much time you really want to invest in social media. I would say that if you are trying to really, truly open up a business online and you want to move in that direction, then you might be better off hiring a social media manager to manage your social media for you. If you are just kind of doing it on the side to really build a presence on social media, then you'd be pretty safe to, kind of do it yourself, or, even have your, if you have a teenager at home, you can have them do it. I have my 14-year-old, she loves Instagram. She knows how to post on Instagram, probably even better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have somebody at home who can do it for you, that's always an option too. But yeah, I would say if you really are going full online, you probably want to outsource that and have somebody, who knows what they're doing, do it for you. But if you're starting off on the side, it's completely fine if you do it yourself.
Yeah, and if people want to test a business idea, this is a great way to test it and kind of get feedback and opinions from people and start a dialogue with potential consumers. But also because of the video capabilities now with Instagram and Facebook, you literally can go on, you can do some teaching, you can, do educational things or whatever your business might involve. You can just take 5 minutes and do a short little video and market your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say probably a big portion, I would say probably 70% of my sales come from doing stories on Instagram. So it's a big, part of my sales that happened from just doing stories on Instagram, getting myself out there, putting myself, in front of the camera, talking to my audience, because video really helps to build that know, love, trust factor a lot faster than just posting. So when people get an opportunity to see who you are, who they're doing business with, can they trust you? Do they like you? They want to get to know who you are. You can really, really make a big difference in the amount of sales that you're bringing in for your business just by doing video on Instagram. So I highly recommend that if you are using Instagram and you're not doing video, that you start with stories at least. They're only 15 little second increments. And it's really you just behind your camera on using your smartphone and maybe teaching somebody something, whatever it is that your business is about. You want to be always educating people, giving value to them for free. And you can do that just by doing a quick little video on Instagram through the stories, or you can do a live. The lives are 60 minutes long, so you can actually do like an entire presentation if you wanted to on Instagram Live as well.
And then when you did that to create sales, were you actually selling something in the video, or were you driving them to maybe an email list that eventually would sell them something?
So I do both. There are times where I drive them to my email list to, get emails. And then there are times where I actually just sell directly from Instagram through a story post, and I do a poll. So for instance, I have a course right now that teaches all about Instagram. It's called Impact to Insta Income. And it teaches businesses how to utilize Instagram to increase their sales in their businesses. And so I did a little poll that asked people, what do you think about Instagram? Are you using it for your business right now? Yes or no? And then the next little story said, would you be interested in using it for Instagram or using Instagram for your business? Yes or no? And, they click on the little poll sticker to decide yes or no. And those who said that they're interested in using Instagram for their business and they said yes, then when you swipe up on your story, you can see who voted yes and who voted no. Then you can send those people a personal message and send the link to your program, or send them a little video that talks about your program. I personally just send a quick message that says, I saw that you're interested in using Instagram to grow your business. I just wanted to, give you some additional information. You can find out some more info here. You can click here for all the details and send a link with that. And, a lot of sales for me happen that way. And I teach my clients how to use stories for sales that way as well. So it can be both. You can use it also to build your email list. It's a very powerful tool to build your email list as well. And in the online world, your email list is kind of like the holy grail. It's really what you want to strive for, is to build not only a presence online, but also you want to also be building your email list, because that is how the majority of people sell, is through their email list. But with stories, it really has changed the game. With the Instagram stories, it's changed the game to where you don't have to only sell through your email list. You can absolutely sell directly to your audience just by even doing a story.
I think that's one of the big changes in the last few years that
it is.
Yeah, that people didn't really expect, is that this ability to actually make sales without having a list has now become possible. Because I remember when I first started, it was, grow the list, grow the list, grow the list. And certain people would get to 1 million people on their list, but then they weren't very responsive. So they would have this huge list, but then not that many people would buy. And then other people would have a small list of 10,000 people, and people would buy, more people would buy.
Yeah, and I will tell you a little secret, like that is one of the biggest rookie mistakes of online business that I made in the first year that I was in business is I didn't understand the importance of building your email list because, when I started Instagram 3.5 years ago, the algorithms weren't as strict as they are now. So you could, when you posted, it would go in chronological order. So you had a lot, so everybody saw your post. I mean, you had a lot more people seeing your post. Now, Instagram's algorithm really kind of, maybe you're lucky if anywhere between 3 to 10% of your audience see your post. Back 3.5 years ago, everyone saw your post because it was in chronological order. And so you could really sell really nicely on Instagram. And that's honestly how I hit my first 6 figures, was selling directly from Instagram. I never built my email list for the first year. All I did was post on Instagram, and, we didn't even have video then. We didn't have lives, and we didn't have stories. And I still was able to make 6 figures in 8 months using Instagram. Since then, a lot of things have changed with the algorithm, and they've gotten stricter with what they, with content and what you put up and what they'll show and how many people who get to see your content and so forth. But so it's completely changed, and I've had to adapt to that change and really focus on start focusing on building my email list since then. But the first year, that was one of my biggest rookie mistakes, is I got to 40,000 followers in my first year, and I hadn't collected not even one email. And I don't suggest that people do that. I do not. That's one of the things I say. I teach my clients right away. The first thing you do is you try to start building your email list, because you want to absolutely move people from social media onto your email list, because you don't own social media, but you do own your email list. So don't make the mistake that I made and not focus on building your email list for the first year that you're in business. The first thing you should do is get an account with MailChimp. It's free. And then I think their paid plan starts at like 10 or 15 bucks a month. So it's really not much. And build yourself a landing page where you can give a freebie to them, even if it's just a video freebie, just teaching them something for 30 minutes or 25 minutes. And they can, in return, they're giving you their email list so that you start building your email list, because that is the majority of how people sell, is through email lists. But back then, it wasn't something that was a priority for me. When Instagram's algorithm changed, though, I did have to make it a priority. But since then, now stories came along. And so now with stories, you can really sell directly as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think it is important to build your own email list, as you say, because you do own that. And that means no matter if Facebook goes away someday, you can still contact all those people because you have their email address. But it's also exciting because advertising is bigger than ever on social media. And so people with a relatively modest budget can actually reach their target customers pretty easily, can't they?
Absolutely. Now, to be quite honest with you, I don't do a whole lot of paid advertisement on Facebook or Instagram. That's one of the things I kind of pride myself in teaching, is organic reach. And I've been able to build, pages with, over 700,000 followers, and do it completely organically with 0 paid Facebook ads. I've been able to have 3 or 4 different 6-figure launches in the last 2 years without any Facebook ads. So that's one of the things that I definitely pride myself on, is that the amount of money that I spend on ads is very minimal. In fact, we just started trying Facebook ads about 8 months ago. We did it for about 3 months, and we did not see the results that we saw when we do it organically through Instagram. It wasn't the email list. I think we did kind of like a case study on it, and we built a 500 plus person email list in about a month using Facebook ads, which the spend, I think, was probably between $2,000 and $3,000. And then what I did was I did organic reach on Instagram and influencer marketing on Instagram, and spent $400 in 30 days. And my email list grew to over 3,000 people. So that was within a month's period of time. So there's absolutely ways to do it with like zero budget. And that's kind of what I teach my clients is how to do organic reach on Instagram and build your email list organically with very little ad spend, if any at all. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm kind of known for in our industry is really just, leveraging Instagram to its fullest potential organically and really building your email list that way without using all those, ads that you see on Facebook that can cost thousands of dollars.
Yeah, definitely can. Well, Wendy, how can people reach you, get in touch with you, and find your social media accounts?
So our main pages are Boss Ladies Mindset. That's our main page, Boss Ladies Mindset. And you can always send me a DM there or a direct message. And then our second page is Crowned for Success, and that's a number 4. So Crowned, the number 4, Success. And you can also follow me there and you can send me a message there. And then we've got 2 or 3 other smaller pages that we have as well, but those are our 2 main bigger pages. If you'd like to follow me on social media, and always feel free to DM me. I'm always in the DM. I mean, that's another thing too that's super powerful about Instagram is, I've closed $25,000 deals right in the DM on Instagram. So it's something that I teach my clients how to do as well. So feel free to send me a message. I answer every single message that I receive over on social media.
Well, there's no doubt you are the queen of Instagram, Wendy. So thank you for sharing the tips today and for all your knowledge and wisdom. I know people are going to be able to apply a lot of what you've given them and start their own side hustle to create a nice stream of income for themselves.
Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you so much, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.